Dear Diary, the gram says I'm rich. My bank account says, girl, you sliding again. Between closings, marketing, balancing my household, and trying to enjoy life, sometimes I have to make myself take a seat. But hey, at least I look good. And I'm giving my business all of my resources. But God, please bust the pipe. Signed, a boss, making it look good and cute while waiting for the deal to close.
Welcome to the Boss's Diary, where 4 women, 4 journeys, and 4 big personalities come together to talk life, love, motherhood, and mindset. No fluff, no filters, just real talk, boss energy, and wind down vibes.
Yes.
Let's get into it. My name is
it.
Alina. You can follow me at Alina the Realtor on Instagram.
I'm Latasha. You can follow me, The Confident Realtor, or The Confident Black Girl on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms.
And I am Tasha, AZ Real Estate Chick on all social media platforms.
My name is Sha, AZ Homegirl Sha on all social media platforms.
Today's episode, we'll be talking about being realtor rich and cash poor.
Yes. And before we get into the truth about looking successful, how was y'all weeks, ladies?
Ooh, this week has been very, very long for me. Has it felt that way for you, ladies?
I don't know. It was real fast.
Really?
Yeah.
It felt so long
super
for
fast.
me. Yeah.
My
Well,
vacation
you
is
on
over.
vacation, so we know.
Alina said, take me back.
Right. Kick me out the podcast.
Okay. My week was fast. My week was draining. I had to fire my assistant.
Oh, no. The assistant you just hired.
The assistant I just
Oh,
hired.
no.
Wasn't on the job a week.
I'm sorry. That's why I laughed. Because he said he started on Monday. He was gone on Tuesday. I'm so sorry.
I don't play. At all. I don't. Like,
See.
Oh, my
listen,
goodness.
because it's just, first of all, this is your first week. So how you call it?
Sorry.
Not you call in.
Nah, he had okay, but in his defense,
What is his defense?
my first week at my new position, I had to go to the hospital. So that's why.
He said he was at the hospital? Oh, wow.
Yes. Well, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, so, and you know me. Them people made me leave that job and go to the hospital because I really was pushing through to like, it's my first week. I'm a corporate girlie. We've talked about this. And so they made me go to the hospital.
So maybe he should have clocked in and made me make him go to the hospital, but he didn't clock in. And, and we were supposed to have a Zoom call, and I was on Zoom for 30 minutes, and I was waiting on him. He didn't say anything. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just see how late he's going to be. Nothing. And so finally I texted him and was like, hey, I'm waiting on you in a Zoom. He was like, oh, I just got reception.
Wow.
And I'm at the hospital. I was like, okay. So then I went through his work for the previous days because, again, he started Monday. So I went through his work for the previous days, and I just noticed that, like, he wasn't paying attention on his phone calls. He wasn't making the necessary notes. And I was just like, you know what? You're off today. Go ahead and stay off. I'll send you your check.
Go ahead and clock out for me.
I'll send you your check. This is not going to work out. So.
Well, I must say, I was looking forward to his hard work that he was supposed to be putting in.
Okay.
Yes.
The disappointment.
I got
that
another
feel.
one starting on Monday.
Okay.
Good luck to you. Good luck
Okay.
to you.
Let's make a bet. How long will this one last?
Where are you finding these
that
people?
this one lasts a long time. Like, because I really need somebody to, like, help me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so much. So I really need somebody to, like, step into that position, especially, like, just because right now they're just doing, like, outbound calls,
Like,
organizing my CRM. Like, it cannot be that hard. He was, like, I listened to his calls. You received one of his calls where he's like, I don't know what type of, if he was speaking Spanish correctly, I don't know. But like, he put us on an appointment. Sha took the appointment. The guy was like, I don't even own that house. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, wow.
And he scheduled that
was like,
appointment.
I don't own this house. I was like, oh, and I'm, going through the process because, make sure, how we say buyers are liars. So I'm just going through the process to make sure, he's not just trying. I'm like, okay, well, you spoke with someone from my brokerage earlier and, scheduled for this time for a call. And he's like, yeah, no, I don't own that house, the address you're giving me. I'm like, okay. Let me get this figured out.
Exactly. And so it's just I don't have time for it. I'm not about to pay you to make my life hard. Like where they do that at. So I was just like, I sent him a nice email, thanked him for his service because he was very nice. But if you were just looking for a job where you can like play on the clock and not really have to do anything or show results.
This is not that. This is not that. We work very hard. We do a lot of work. And so we need professionals in this industry that are going to do the work as well.
Absolutely.
And, we don't only look the part. We work, baby. These girls stay working. Everyone in the brokerage, they are working.
Yes.
I, did a lot of follow-ups with the agents this week and had appointments. Not only my recruits, but I reached out to everyone else. And we're really just having these conversations to make sure everybody is doing their work. And they do their work.
They do.
But, as people want to be a part of real estate, they don't understand what it costs, what it takes, the dedication to being a successful realtor.
They don't.
And everybody wants to be a realtor right now. Everybody don't know how much it costs. But let's talk about it. Let's get into it because this week we really want to have a conversation about looking the part, being the part, and knowing the difference between the two. And I want this to be a good conversation, not only just for the listeners that love us, because we love you too, but also people who are looking for their new agents. They're here. We're right here.
Absolutely.
And understanding how to decipher between those that just look like they got the work and those who actually got the work, the ones that are putting in the work for, your listing and taking you out and all of these good things. And, currently, there's a lot of people and a lot of things that show up, especially on social media, to present as something that they are not.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Everybody, I seen a post and it was like, why is all of these realtors like now like Instagram models and stuff like that? Because a lot of time I think that people get the title because it sounds cute. It sounds like it's a fun job. But in reality, being a realtor is hard as hell. Like every single day we wake up unemployed.
Very much in the ghetto.
Yes. We wake up unemployed every day. You are literally unemployed until you get your next deal.
Yes.
So, and then if you get one deal and it's like, okay, this is a good deal. I made $16,000, but then you go months without getting another one. Like people don't understand and they don't prepare themselves. And I was just talking to somebody about this, not like literally this week. They're like, oh, I want to get my license. And I'm like, but why? And they're like, oh, I just want to make some money. I'm tired of not making money, and I'm just like, okay, that sounds good. However, when you think about it, you're going to get into real estate. And it's not just like people think that when you get your license, everybody's just going to be, oh, you're a realtor. I want to buy a house.
You're making money.
Yeah,
right.
I want to buy a house. I want to sell my house.
Licensed.
Like that is not the case. Like I went a year, probably going on 2 years before I made anything in my real estate career. Thank God I had a support system and I had somebody who was like, okay, you do that. I'm going to take care of home. I'm going to pay the bills. But if I didn't have that person, please, y'all wouldn't know me. You don't, or if y'all did know me, it would have been way harder for me to get to this point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's challenging for me right now. And I'm all about transparency and being honest. So when I'm recruiting people, I tell them all of the work that I've had to put in and what had to happen. However, my first year of real estate was like so successful and so fast and a whirlwind. And when I took my break and I was in commercial real estate and, all of that. And then I said, okay, I'm back on the sales side and came in, got my listings. And this market is so tough that you have all these listings and you're still trying to sell them. And while you're waiting for the check, when you're on the listing side as a listing agent, you're putting money into these listings.
Absolutely.
You have videography, photography, your marketing, your open houses, you're putting all of this stuff into it. Maybe you're paying for the clean. Maybe you're doing this, that, and the third for your sellers. You've invested more than the sellers at this point. And if they don't sell, you're just out of all of your money.
Yep. And then not to mention that we're not the type of realtors where it's like, okay, somebody want to go show our property, we don't show up. So you also have to invest in being there.
Oh yeah,
Opening
every single
the doors,
showing, I'm
every
there.
showing,
Definitely
being there, opening up the
putting your time
doors.
in.
Yep.
Yes.
The gas, the commute. You know what I mean? So it's a lot.
Exactly. And not only just me showing up, Alina showed up for
Yep.
me. Alina is an amazing co-agent. I love working with her. If I can't make it, she will always tap in to jump in to go show. Then Alina and we've done all of these events where we're putting in money and we're going to buy you coffee or we're going to do this. So there's just so many things that you're doing that majority of the people and the majority of the agents have no clue.
For sure.
No clue. And I just want to make sure they know the clues.
Well, so I have a question for you ladies.
Yes.
Okay.
We all know how it is and how tough it is in the real estate market. Tell us about some of your side gigs or side hustles that you guys have had during this career of your guys's. What do you think?
I like it. That's a great question. So I actually work full-time real estate and full-time property management. So I do commercial property management so that I can stay within the realm of being a realtor, being in real estate. Yes. And then I have my other business where I host events, and that's a lot of work and time to get some output, some success for those and get money into my pocket. There was a time before where I would do all of the broker pricing
BPOs.
Yes, the BPOs, and going out and helping the appraisers while I would go take the pictures and do the video screens and send that to the appraisers, and then they would send me a little money and do that. There was times where I did shipped whatever, the grocery shopping stuff, not like, what is it called?
Instacart.
But not that one, the other one.
Yeah, shipped.
Yeah.
With the T.
So I did that during the time when I didn't work. And so whatever it takes so that I can live. And I know that most importantly, especially when I was, unemployed from the commercial real estate side and I was only doing real estate full time, the only way that I made it through was Allah. Like if I didn't have God, I would not have had nothing, because baby, 8 and 9 months with, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It is.
What have you done? Because I know because baby, you hustle, so I know.
Thank you. So this is the thing. When I first got my license, I was in a relationship. I had that person to fall back on. After I was making money, so I went from being in that relationship to this is why I tell you guys that you have to invest. So once I made my first deal, I believe it was like right before Christmas, and I invested into Realtor.com, Zillow. At the time, you could get with Zillow. So I started paying for leads on Zillow. Then business started to be consistent. So from there, I started investing, fixing and flipping houses. And I was making a ton of money fixing and flipping houses because you're selling them every 3 months. So we were making a ton of money selling those houses every 3 months. So that's been my strategy. I've also got into like wholesale, because this is not, I wouldn't say get into fixing flipping right now, unless you get a really good price. I don't think that this is the thing with real estate, you have to know how to pivot. That's why I named my brokerage Pivot. Because you have to know how to pivot. You can't just say, you can't be a one trick pony. So you have to know, and you have to be able to wear multiple hats. So when I was not fixing and flipping, I was wholesaling. I was getting prices at a really deep discount, and then I was reselling those properties. I was able to do that, and I would put like $5,000-$10,000, you know what I mean, on top of those properties. Or if I wasn't able to sell them higher, I would just charge a commission. So therefore, it's like, okay, you're getting it from the same price that I'm getting it for. However, I'm just getting a commission off of it, so the buyer would still be inclined to, buy the property from me as a wholesale price. And then also, I think that's been, wholesaling, fixing and flipping, still selling, those have been my hustles and how I'm able to maintain. But you just got to be ready to pivot at any given time. You can't be so married to one one way.
Right.
You know, you have
Absolutely.
to be able to say, okay, this is not working. Let me do this.
Exactly.
And that's why I appreciate you, and I like that you're like, okay, let me get into property management side. Let me learn the commercial side, because if it's slow over here, something else, people are still buying and selling houses every single day. That's not going to stop.
Yep.
You know, so we just have to know how to adjust our hats, how to put on a different hat. If this source is dry, if it's dried up over here,
Find another one.
find another one.
Find another one.
Definitely. For sure.
What about you, Sha?
Oh, so I'm really big on multiple streams of income. In today's society, there's no way. I don't understand how people are surviving on one stream of income at all. And I'm really big on pivoting. You know, if something's not working, I give it some time. If I feel it's not working, I'm going to pivot to something else. So up until earlier this year, I was doing real estate full-time, well, actually part-time. And then simultaneously, I was still working corporate America. I have other things as well. I'm invested in stocks. I'm invested in index universal, life insurance policies. And then I came into real estate before I got licensed. I was doing wholesaling as well. I came in as a wholesaler and then decided maybe it would be better, to get my license and go on the sales side. And then now I'm doing kind of the same thing. I do wholesale land, but I'm also doing what is called bird dogging. So it's essentially bringing deals to a buyer, getting paid a finder's fee type deal.
Okay.
So I'm doing that now, and still have my investments in stocks. My stocks, when I joined corporate America, I was working with a company probably about 6-7 years ago. I started working with a company where I was working people's 401ks, pensions, things of that nature, right? And that's when I learned the importance of investing in stocks. That's when I learned the importance of having 401k and index universal life insurance policies. Like at any moment, if I want, I have policies that are sitting pretty nicely that I can borrow from. You know what I mean? If things get too bad. I try not to do that, because once you start doing that, it kind of becomes, it can kind of become a crutch. And I don't ever want it to become a crutch. I have it set as a safety net. I have my daughter's policy set for her for when she gets older, so she can take the money, do whatever she wants to do. And then I have mine set for my retirement plan. So I never want to use it as a crutch. So I try not to touch it. My 401k I will touch if I need to. I will touch my 401k. However, once I left corporate America, I took my 401k and rolled it over into my IULs. So I have that, and then those kind of help me with getting in between, because I like to have my own money. Yes, I am married. Yes, I do have the relationship where my husband takes care of the bulk of our household bills, things of that nature. I don't pay any bills. Absolutely love that for me.
Love that for you.
Right, I love that for me. I do pay my car note, but other than that, I don't. And I just started back paying my car note probably like few months ago or earlier this year.
Which I'm about to get that back to
right. He's about to get that back. He's about to get that back. Right.
I gave him a little break. Just a little break.
Right. Take it back.
Take this back. This is ghetto.
Right. However, I've always been a woman who I love making money. I love having my own money. I'm not one of those women that anybody gives me something, they're giving it to me. I'm not the type to go and ask for anything.
Absolutely.
I'm not about to ask you for anything.
Yes.
And I'm not the type of woman that, if I need something, my first resource is, let me go ask my husband. You know what I mean? If I need something, I'm going to go get it. But, so that's my thing. I like to keep income flowing in. Like literally when I wake up in the morning every day, the first thing I do is grab my phone. I check my credit score. I check my accounts. You know, like I have
Yeah.
to.
I say that all the
it's,
time, and people be thinking that I'm crazy because I'm like, you don't check, like, you should not be checking your phone for social media every day. I literally check my credit score, check my account.
Yep.
Who then took money out my
Right.
account?
That's
Like,
me.
Wait, that
I
wasn't me.
know,
Let me call
like,
somebody.
yeah, because I know what I have. I have, you know, all of my accounts separate. Like, I got like 5 accounts. I have a spend account. I have a savings account. I have a business account. I have multiple business accounts. So it should be, I should know and have eyes on my money at all times.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. The thing that I don't usually have surprises with my accounts, but I like to have eyes on.
Yeah.
I don't play about my money. I
At
like
all.
to know, you know, where my money is at. Was this moving? Even if my husband does something with, you know, our shared account, I'm like, hold up, what was this? You know,
Right.
and that's his money. That he, that's
I got
what's
eyes on
going on?
his
Right.
You know, happening.
Because
She said I got eyes on his
I got eyes
accounts
on
too.
his
I didn't
accounts
know we
too.
were buying a new
And he
trailer.
he knows, you know, he knows. I tell him all the time, I'm jokingly, of course, but I mean, it is what it is. My money is my money and his money is our money.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Listen, I was going to go as far as his money is my money.
Right. What's yours is mine and what's mine is mine.
Yeah.
But
so funny.
I don't know. Those are my
that's just a
beliefs.
joke between us. You said what?
Just a
I said,
little
those are my
jokey.
beliefs. Like, even religiously. Like,
Right.
his money is his money that he supports me with, and my money is mine.
Yeah, because you know what, I feel that the financial balance that I have with my husband in our relationship is he takes care of the bills, you know. I take care of our daughter. Anything my daughter needs, anything she does,
Okay.
I pay for that. You know what I mean? Because of course we have our joint accounts, but we also have separate accounts as well. And I pay for that. You know what I mean? I don't go to him, hey, you know, Maya needs this, da, 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 da. Or we might have a conversation about it, but he knows I got it covered. He doesn't have to worry about none of that. Just like I don't have to worry about none of the bills, you know? So it's kind of a balance, you know?
Definitely a balance.
Yeah, definitely
I see
a
the
balance.
immediately.
Yeah.
You
I
know
love
what I mean?
that.
Yeah.
I knew you wasn't just like taking this man money every day, but
That's one of her jobs.
Right.
That's how she
Balance.
makes it.
Balance.
What about you, girl? Because I know you hustling. I know
I
you
do a lot.
Yeah.
I do a
princess.
lot.
Let the girls, let the people
princess.
know.
Like Sha said, I always have to have some type of money flowing,
That's right.
multiple streams. I started off doing hair at a really, really young age. I grew up in a beauty salon, so it was only right. And then I got into like the sales industry. I was like, ooh, I like this. So that's an interesting story. That's how I got into real estate. I was reselling cars, wholesaling furniture, and I was like, ooh, this is nice. Of course I can sell a house.
Yeah.
It's not that easy.
Right?
But you got it. You got
I got it. Absolutely. I got it. Anything I put my mind to, I got
right.
it.
You got it.
Aside from that, I also do notary. I'm a notary agent, and I pick up a lot of different gigs on the side with the notary. So I like making money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It
I
makes
do.
my day.
What was y'all thought process when y'all first got into real estate? Like, what were your expectations? Like, for me, when I first got into the business, so similar to Alina, I had other businesses. Like, I've been a business. I started my first business in high school. I started selling gold teeth. I was doing gold teeth. I had
Talk about the time.
Goes on my
that was literally my first business. Like,
Okay.
I had 10
Okay.
golds, and I had 4 at the top, 6 at the bottom. But I didn't have my front two. So
Is that a picture?
Oh, you had gold
You
teeth as
seen
well.
you seen the picture?
No, I'm telling you.
Oh, a
share
picture.
us.
We need a
Share
picture.
us.
Picture. Would y'all like to see a picture?
podcast page.
Okay, so I had the 10 goals, right? And I was in 9th grade. I was the only person the only female in 9th grade with that many goals. So everybody was coming up to me talking about who did your grill. And at first I was telling them, but then I'm like,
Nah.
I can't keep on telling.
Get this
Right.
Exactly.
Let me make some money
I
off of
started
this.
doing them myself. So this girl named Mary, I would never forget. She was my first client. I messed her girl up.
have to. One time.
I say this to this day. I'm like, I'm going to repay her, like, because she spent, probably like $100, but we were in high school, so that was a lot of money.
Right.
And I don't know, I sized it wrong or something, and it wasn't like gripping like how it was supposed to. So then I went from getting, from doing grills to my own cosmetic line. That was good. I feel like I'm a hustler, like, naturally. Whatever I do, I'm going to do it with 1,000%. So cosmetic line did good. I was selling lipsticks and lip gloss. Really, really good. I was selling, or I had a lot of influencers who were wearing my products. So that was, a good thing for me at that time. But then when I got into real estate, I'm like, oh, okay. Just like those other two, I'm about to just be that girl, right? Exactly. And I was like, I'm going to get my license and I'm going to start selling. It takes 30 days to sell a house. So I should be good. Like, 30 days from getting my license, I should be closing. Baby, it was a whole year and 6 months. Like, I was literally like, going and doing open houses every weekend. I am cold calling people. I remember one time I was door knocking in the middle of the summer. This man was like, "Do you want some water?" Because I was hot. But that's how hungry I was. Yes. And so I just got it was a shock factor for me. Like, it doesn't happen like that. So what was you guys' expectations? Because I know mine was like the doors was going to open.
Yes.
The floodgates was going to open. Everybody wants to use me.
And I had that same expectation when I got into real estate because I knew me. I'm similar to you. I've been a hustler all my life. I started in junior high school. I used to buy the whole store full of candy and go sell it in school. Right. You know what I mean? So I've always been a hustler. I've always known how to make money ever since I was younger. I've been working ever since I got my first job when I was 14, my first exact job. But even before that, I was selling things. So I'm like, I'm getting into real estate. I got this. I did all the things, the learning, watched all the shows and episodes on YouTube University, read all the books, all the real estate for dummies. That's my thing, is I need everything explained. I need to see the explanation in between the lines. I don't want to just hear this, I've been selling houses for 20 years explanation. I need to hear the real estate for dummies version. You know what I mean? For me to really get it. So I got in like, I got this, because I knew me. And 2 weeks into getting licensed, I went with a big brokerage because I felt like this is a big brokerage. You know what I mean? I'll probably succeed here.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks into me getting licensed, I got my first listing.
That's good.
I got my first listing. I got that off of, I set up ads on Yelp, which was a lot of money. And at that time, I was, still fresh, still green, ready to invest. You know what I mean? So I had no problem throwing the money at it. So I set the ads up on Yelp. I actually got 2 leads from that. One lead, I sent her the CMA. She was trying to sell her property. She wanted to know my opinion. I sent her the CMA, things of that nature. We had a next conversation. It was, we decided to use my husband's friend. I just wanted to know what your opinion was. Second lead turned into my listing, and I went in there when I was at that listing appointment, like, so scared, so nervous, probably sweating like crazy under my blazer. Yeah. But like telling myself in my head, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. And I got it, I did. I surprised myself. And then after that, I think I was here, I'm doing the open houses, I'm marketing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And we didn't sell. So now it's a process of learning. Yes, okay, you do this, you get the listing, but this is the process. And I feel like when you come into real estate, that's the process that people don't really or readily educate on.
Correct.
They educate on, go door knock, you'll get a listing. Yeah. Do some calls, you'll get a listing. They don't educate on, once you have a listing,
what do you do?
You know what I mean? This is how I'm always going to have a degree in psychology, so I'm always going to the psychological factor of things. So I had to get to a place where I'm like, okay, let me step aside. Let me psychologically think, who's the buyer for this home? You know what I mean? The stats of this home, who do I envision the buyer as?
Yep.
So I had to take it there, and then that transformed everything for me. Like we we started getting more showings, more offers, everything. With that, we still wound up not selling because, long story short, the couple were in the process of divorcing. They couldn't get on the same page about things, so they just wound up canceling. But after that, I was on this high because I'm like, okay, I got this. I got this.
You did it before.
Yeah, I'm like, I did it before. I could do it again. And then things slowed down. Things started shifting in the market. You know what I mean? And that was something that I was not prepared for.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, I just learned this. I just learned to get to this level. And now I got to learn to get, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
you got to learn something else.
Yeah. So I did not expect as many transitions as I've already had since being in real estate. I did not anticipate all of the different factors. You know, you come in, you think you get a listing, you sell the house, you get a commission. You find a buyer, they buy a house, you get a commission. You know what I mean? But there's so many other factors. You got to build relationships. You got to be a marketer. You have to be a businesswoman. You have to know, you know what I mean, how to set up your business. You have to all these other things,
1,000 things, and you have to know when to juggle them, when to pivot, when to do this and that. It's crazy, but I love it.
Yes. What was your expectations when you got into the business?
Initially, I had the same expectation as you guys, but then I got into it a little bit more because I'm like, oh, that's easy. It can't be too easy. I mean, it can't be that easy, right? And then they were like, 6 months, you'll have your first deal for sure. And I'm like, okay, 6 months. I got this. Yeah, no, that did not happen.
You said 6 months, no deals.
I'm like, okay, next month will be the counting down the calendar. Okay,
maybe I didn't count that right.
Oh my gosh, 6 months turned into a year, and it was like, whoa, am I supposed to be doing this? Doubting myself so many different times, but ultimately, I was drawn here for a reason. Have been drawn to real estate my whole life, and I'm like, I got this. You know, it's a tough market. I got in during the toughest market, I believe, and
I feel like I did too.
Yeah, both did.
Yeah, we came in together.
We did.
I feel like it's the best time for me to come in. Of course, it's like downside, like Tasha said, people are buying houses every day, selling houses every day, but ultimately, this is my time to learn as much as I can. I've had so many amazing clients in this journey, and of course it's not overnight, but I look back and I'm like, okay, okay, girl. Yeah. I love that. So
it's one of those things that I don't know if I'm pretty sure I probably told you guys, you learn in this market. This is the market where you're learning in
every day.
If you, it's great. Like,
just amazing.
You're going to do so good because it's like one of those situations where, granted, you guys, this is not to confuse it. The girls are busy. The girls is doing what they're doing. However, it's not abundance. It's not overflow.
Every day you're signing a deal. No.
So I think that in this market, this is where you learn the market, right? Because imagine coming in 2021. You did good though. You got some.
I
did
got
great.
Some deals. I did 7 deals my first
year. But it's like you said. I remember you saying previously, like, okay, I wish I would have had somebody to help me.
Because I probably would have did 21 deals.
And so it's in coming into a hot market and trying to learn and keep up. You know, that's a challenge. You know what I mean? You were blessed, but it's a lot of people that came into that because they seen how those houses was selling, and we sold a house for $80,000 over asking. Imagine trying to negotiate against that agent. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that. Like, imagine trying to negotiate in a 2021 market and you don't even have that experience.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, this is the market where you get that experience, you get that knowledge, you know, because it's not the overflow. It's not houses just selling off the, off the market, and, people are paying 10, 20,000. Like, it's not that market.
Right.
You have time to learn your contracts. You have time to read over it and educate yourself. And so when the market recovers, then you can keep up.
Absolutely.
Right.
This is the market where you learn to overcome obstacles.
The best market.
This is where you learn your resilience. This is where you learn, okay, I'm in the paint. This is what I do. And you don't win every game. This is the market where you're going to take your L's, but they are your lessons.
That's
this is where you build in this market, because once you've come out of this, once we come out, the wins, that's all we're going to do is win. Because we've been able to do it. But there is a lot of people who won't.
They're not going to make it.
Because only the strong will survive.
Exactly.
Only the strong and steadfast will survive. Like, I feel like the people who came in initially expecting to, it's one thing to come in and think that, you know, you got this because you know who you are, you know your work ability, you know your education level or your ability to learn different things. So that's one thing to come in like, I got this, I'm gonna kill it because of who I am, as opposed to people coming in because they see the Selling Sunsets and they see Selling Tampa and all these shows that glamorize or only show the glamorous side of real estate, you know. So they're not showing when you're sitting, you know, they're showing these beautiful, gorgeous houses, absolutely beautiful, which we love them. Of course, we love going to get content in them and everything like that. However, sometimes you have to go on a listing appointment and you're sitting at a table that, you know, in a house that's not to your cleanliness, you know what I mean? And you're sitting there trying to not get anything on you, and then they got pets and the jungle attacking you while you're sitting there trying to focus on your presentation, you know what I mean? So I feel like people who come in that way, they're going to get so much of a culture shock.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So much of a culture shock.
I feel like it's the false expectation. That's just like, you know, all of us look luxury. We all have the luxury look. We all have the, you know, luxurious social media because we do have to. We can't go out looking like whatever it is that you're feeling or going through, right? Right. But that is at an expense. Like we just said, you have to look luxury, but you might not have a commission check for another 60 days. You know, but you still have to keep it up. Of course. You still have to look like the job you want, not the job you have.
That's right. You know, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Like, you have to go into your presentations and let them know I'm the person, because people judge you. Like, they judge you from the moment. First sight. When you pull up. If your car is not clean. Before
you get out that car.
Yeah, if your car is not clean, they're judging you.
What type of car are you in?
Right. I had an experience where I was on a listing presentation. And I had my car, you know, I had an Infiniti. So Infiniti is not a bad car. I had
I love Infiniti.
What was it? A G, I don't know the models no more. Okay, but whatever it was like the sporty one, right? It was a 4-door coupe. And it was a nice car. And I went on a presentation to a house. It was like maybe $1.4 million. And the guy was like, your car is not going to leak in my driveway. And I'm like, oh,
no. Now he called you a poor.
Oh, my gosh. How
he said, your car is not going to leak in my driveway. Like,
not going to leak. Why would it leak?
Why would it leak? But because people judge you off of that. Like, he was looking for the person that's pulling up in the Benz, the person that's pulling up in the G-Wagon.
Like, I mean, I'm just so confused at why it would leak.
No, I think I'm more confused. Were you pulling up in his driveway for the listing appointment?
Yes, because, you know, okay, so where the house is at, because I normally would not.
You didn't have a choice.
It was a dirt road. Because, you know, some of these houses, when they're that price point, you can't park on the street. Because it's like, you know, and so I had to pull up. And I wasn't pulled in front of his garage, but I was, like, pulled at the entrance of his driveway because I had no choice. And he's like, your car's not going to leak. And I'm like, no, he didn't. Like... Sir, so funny. She don't leak. And my Infiniti was probably one of the best cars that I had. Actually, I had no issues with that car.
I love Infinitis.
You like Infinitis? I do too. Yeah.
It was literally the best car. And that man was like, "Your car's not gonna leak." I was like, "Oh, okay. I see what we doing here. I know I'm not getting this listing."
I'm about to say, did you get it? But did you get it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
okay, blame
not.
The Infiniti.
Right.
It was the Infiniti.
It was the Infiniti's. When I came into the game, I had no expectation at all. Like, I wanted to do real estate because it was something that was always on my heart. And at that time, it was my journey to discovery of myself, because I didn't do it when I wanted to because I was a wife and a mother. And it just, at the time, you had to go in person to go to school and like all this other stuff. And I'd worked for a home builder for 9 years. So I knew real estate. I knew, you know, from the construction side and building and all of that. And honestly, I've been told for years I would be amazing in sales. And I was just like, I don't want to do it. And I've sold knockoff perfumes on the corners of Chicago. Like, I've done the whole Midwest, and I was top sales in that, and literally out in Humboldt Park, west side of Chicago, Sister Road, this, that, and the third, with knockoff bottles of perfume.
And they were selling.
Slanging. Yes. And my baby had diapers every week. That was what I did. I drove to Aurora, Illinois every day from Joliet to Recoup to go out.
About a hustler.
Yes.
That's right.
I've always done those things, but then when it came to real estate, I was like, I'm scared. And yes, I'm the confident realtor. And yes, I'm the confident black girl. But there are times where I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if this is for me. Like,
but you make it look good.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you. But I was like, oh. And then my first year, like I said, I was under contract within 7 days. My first week I was under contract with buyers, and then I had a seller, and then I had another buyer, and then I had this. And so that was like, oh. And I did my first 7 deals in the first 4 months of the year. And then I was like, it's too much. I don't know what to do. No one's helping me. Help. And that's when I got into the property management side. But it was like, I didn't have an expectation, but once I got my check, I said, I want another one. How do I get another one?
And
I kept going.
Yes. They be good. Now, that's one thing about it. Like, the checks are good.
Yes,
We
definitely.
make, and this is not a, this is a very humble brag.
Absolutely.
But the checks is what somebody will wait a year for. We get that in one check. So it's like, it's worth it. Because we make a lot of money. We are making more than the average person. I seen this video, and it's going to trip y'all out. It's a video, and it said, I'm going to send it to y'all. It's on Instagram. And the guy was asking, how much do you, or what do you say, how rich, or how much richer are you than the rest of the world if you have $4,210? And the world median is $4,210. So if you got more than that, like, you doing good, right?
Right.
We make that literally in a check. We make
double that, actually.
Exactly. We make triple that depending on how much the house is in a check. And so it's good money, but I also think that you can't just come into it thinking, oh, okay, I'm about to be making all this money.
Right.
Nobody even knows me. My family's going to do a list with me. Like, you will be very, very upset.
Yes.
It's good.
Yes.
Good money, but it's hard money.
It's
hard.
It's
You
not
work for
easy.
it.
And that is
sure.
where you get the shot
You
of
gotta,
your life.
you have to
Dog.
make yourself, you have to prove yourself even with the
Every
people
day.
that's closest to you. I had a cousin. Well, she wasn't my cousin, but she was,
She wasn't mine.
she was like a cousin.
Play cousin.
A play cousin. And she bought a house when she first moved to Arizona, bought a house with a different agent. And I'm like, okay, I'm a realtor. Why you use this other agent? And then she sold her house. And I'm like, hey, if you need me, let me know. She used a different agent. So you have to deal with that. You have to overcome. Not everybody's going to use you.
Yeah,
And I learned that the
true.
people that's closest to you are not going to use you.
It's so
because
heartbreaking.
It is. But
It's
they
tough.
don't want you. They think that we be in their business.
No.
They
They
think
do.
that we know, like, they
do.
feel like we're looking at their credit scores, we're looking at their financials, and it's
That's
like,
not
baby,
even my job.
I'm not,
Right.
I'm just looking at a house for you. I'm
Right,
not, I don't know
exactly.
anything.
Exactly.
I don't know what your credit score is. I don't know how much
Right.
money you got in the bank. I don't know what you spent, what you did last Sunday. I don't know. Like, I promise. I'm just trying to help you find a house.
Exactly.
Now, the lender I send you to, he might know, but he ain't going to tell me, or
Right.
she's
Right.
not going to tell me.
Exactly.
Like,
Right.
that's their business.
And I'm not going to go asking either.
Right.
As long as you
I'm
qualify
not
for this
curious.
house,
They
you're
approve.
good.
Exactly.
Oh, they
That's
are?
all I
Let's
need
go.
to know.
Send me
Approved
the
or not.
results. I
That's all I need
promise.
to know.
I don't care. Like, I'm not
Exactly.
curious. I'm like, oh, what are it? Like, I don't care. Like,
Exactly.
who, but people are really like, oh no, I don't want her in my business, baby.
Exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
want you in mine. So we're clear on that.
We're very clear. I literally told my buyer this week, because we were having a conversation. I said, I'm asking these questions because I want to make sure that we are on the right track for your journey. I said, I'm never going to tell you no, but it may not be right now. And so that's why I'm asking you these questions, to qualify you, to see if we're ready to go. The lender is going to get in your business, and you want to be very honest and transparent so that we can fight through the obstacles.
Absolutely.
But other than that, if he comes back and he says you're ready to go, how
That's
soon
it.
would you like to purchase
That's
your home?
it.
And she said, I'm ready to move today. And I said, that's the kind of client I like, baby.
Yeah.
What's that? Let's get you on the home.
That's
Like-
it. That's all.
But
I need to
I'm
know.
not judging you, and
Yeah.
I'm very transparent too, because, you know, as a realtor, I'm also a homeowner, and when I'm talking to my clients, I purchased my home after being homeless, after filing bankruptcy. I have been through so many things, so I own a home. So when I tell you can get one, it's not just that I'm trying to sell you. It's because I have done the work, I have been through the trenches, and I own my home, baby. So when I'm telling you this, I am educating you, because I know there's so many people who think they can't. But if I was homeless and I filed bankruptcy and I've had horrible credit and I've had all of these challenges and I own a home, you can do it too.
Yeah.
You can too.
I
That's
love
right.
the education.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yes.
Telling
I do
the
too.
people because they don't know, and
They
that's
don't.
what I'm here for.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's it.
I got
And that was
you.
the main reason. Shortly after me joining with Pivot, I started the home buying seminars, and that was the motivation behind that, because there are so many people who do not know that, or do not believe that they may be in a position where they can buy a home. They want home ownership, however, feel that it's not attainable to them because of their circumstances.
Especially people that look like us.
Exactly. Yes. So that was the motivation behind the home buying seminars, to get people in and educate them, you know, and I would have Jason there, as you know, I have our lender there to ensure that, because yes, you want to hear the agent talk. However, you want to know what your credit got to look like. You want to know how much money you got to bring to the table. So let me
Shout out to the mortgage coach.
That's right. Shout out to JJ Johnson, the mortgage coach. Let me put him on this platform so that he can go ahead and let you know this may be something that's attainable to you now.
For sure. And
So,
I'm sorry.
oh no, go ahead.
And that I think that's why, like, when I first got into real estate, when I first got interested, I was in Indianapolis, and my aunt, I always tell this story, my aunt was a realtor. She was always so clean, so sleek. Like, she drove a Mercedes. She was very polished. And I remember saying, I don't know what she do, but I want to do whatever it is she do. Thank God she wouldn't hold it.
But I would take a few tips. Okay, but what I gotta do?
What I gotta do?
Say what?
Right. So, but for real, so like when I first got into it, you know, I was under the impression that she owned all of these houses, right? Because I'm like, everybody kept on saying she's in real estate. She, you know, she buys all these houses and stuff. So I'm like, okay, in order for me to get in real estate, I need to buy a lot of houses. Now, granted, you do want to buy houses once you're in, but that's not it. And understand that it's not that hard. We are the people that, you know, when we get into it, I think that we understand that it's literally, you can buy a house faster than you can rent a house.
You
so
really
easy.
can. You really can.
You really can.
Yes.
Like, when you are renting, they literally comb through your whole credit profile. Why did you go to
bank
Chick-fil-A
statements.
yesterday?
Right.
You know you couldn't afford Chick-fil-A. You went to Chick-fil-A. When you go buy a house, they like, oh, baby, you got the credit. You got the income.
You got the money. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
So what would you tell a buyer to prevent themselves from being, you know, house poor in this market? Because, you know, that's the thing where people buy bigger than they need to, or, you know, spending more than they can. Like, how do you bring your buyer into reality? Like, hey, so, you know, you can buy this if you want to, but you need to consider the economy, what this looks like. Because I think a lot of people, especially now, because I was talking to the lender partner, he said it's very tough because of the interest rates and then people's expectation of what they're going to get.
Yeah.
Like, how do you avoid being, you know, cash poor in this market? Because I think that's what it is. It's like you buy all this house and you got the house, but now you got to pay for the house. Like,
Yeah.
How do you manage those expectations with your buyers?
I feel like I tell everybody to look at real estate as an investment. I always look at real estate as an investment. I never fall in love. So with that being said, you know, maybe this is not your forever home, but this is a stepping stone. You know, you are into it and you're going into it so you can build that equity. You can build up that, you know, that positive buying power. You know what I mean? So you might not get the first or the house of your dreams your first go around, but use that as a stepping stone. So therefore you can continue to buy. You can now put this into your portfolio. You can keep it. You can go out and buy another house, and now you have an investment property and you can live in the house that you actually want. Like when when it was COVID time, and I'm sure, I know you ladies wasn't in, but you were. When COVID happened, I sold everything because I don't fall in love with nothing. So we had investment properties, we had rental properties, and everything was selling over asking price. I sold, and I don't think that was a good idea. I would have kept my rental if I could go back. However, it was such a great opportunity to sell. We sold a property for $80,000 over asking. Then we sold another one for like $30,000 over asking. Then I had a rental property that was like in a, in the ghetto. Now what is considered a ghetto. Had that, and Zillow bought it, and they overpaid us for it. And I'm like, oh, I'm not about to not, have this opportunity. So you just have to use it as leverage. Don't think that you're going to fall in love with your first property.
Absolutely.
That's right. That is amazing you say that, because I had a silent stream as well. I was part owner in, 3 parts, owner in a building back home in New York. And we recently sold that, and it went over asking price. And you mentioned Zillow bought yours, Redfin bought ours. So, and we sold over asking price. But I'm just like telling myself, I want another rental.
Yeah.
I want another rental, but I want to do it by myself this time.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because it was too many hands. It was too much. But that's definitely an avenue that I would go down again.
For sure.
Yes.
Passive income.
So that's on my list. Yes, that's the goal. Passive income. Like,
absolutely.
Every time I look, I'm seeing, I'm getting notifications from money just being added to my account. I'm going to the mailbox, seeing another check. That's what I'm trying to, while I'm on the yacht somewhere.
Yes. And so, during these times, like, because we look the part, right?
Yeah.
And I always talk about this all the time. Like, Instagram gonna see the outfit more than one time. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm not buying a new outfit for every event and every occasion and whatever. We gonna go in the closet. We gonna remix. And part of, being able to sustain, because I had been continuously employed for 2 decades until 2021, and that was the first time since I had been a working adult, because I started working when I had my first job at 14, right? So the first time ever not being employed, and I was able to maintain during that time. And it's always God, like God takes care of the girl.
That's right.
But there were things that even now, I can still go in my closet and pop tags on something because I purchased it. And I am a very budgetista type of girl. I am a clearance rack shopper. I am a whatever. I don't love nothing that much I need to pay full price for it. That's the kind of girl I am. So, yes, my type of luxury is going to be Tory Burch, because she had a 20% off and I went on up in there and got it. You know what I mean? Because if they ain't got no sales, it ain't for me. I need a good deal in this season. But I tell people, I'm not living for the opinions of others or what they think of how I should show up and look. I'm always going to be clean. She going to be put together. But yeah, this dress has been in the closet for 3 years. Like, you know what I mean? Sure. We pull the things out. And so I try to get people to think of how to make your money stretch, but also be prepared for a season when it's not overflowing, because it ebbs and flows all the time.
That's right.
So what type of things do you ladies do to prepare for the dry season?
When you up, prepare for when you down, and when you down, prepare for when you up. That's all I tell people. Like, good times don't last forever, and neither does the bad. So if you got it, prepare for when you don't.
That's right.
And when you don't got it, prepare for when you will.
Because I know right now you're focusing on like no extra spending, no, whatever. Are these things that you do to prepare or keep yourself, you know what I mean? Because keep yourself, like, because we, hey, we like a good time. We love to go to dinner. We love all of these things, but it's just like, okay, I want to make sure that I can go to dinner all the time. So maybe for the next, 5 months, I'm not going to dinner every single week. I'm going to go twice a month. I'm going to, whatever, to pull back, but making sure that your money is stretching.
Absolutely. And then you just have to, think about, I always want a nest egg, and when my nest egg is not nesting, I go in on panic mode.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It stresses me out because if I have a lot on my shoulders, I carry a lot. I have, my businesses, I have my kids. So it stops with me. If shit hits the fan, it's like on me. So if my nest egg ain't nesting, we not spending, we not traveling, we not having fun. Like it's grind mode, it's grind time. So that's my thing. Like, I need that safety net for sure.
See, I'm kind of that way, but then I have this other side. So I like to have my safety net. You know, I have my monies that I don't touch. I have accounts that I don't touch. Okay. I just allow, you know, this is for retirement. This is for Maya when she gets older. You know, I don't touch those. So I literally operate in the sense of I don't even see them. And that helps me not even think about them, not even touch them, you know. But when it comes to my liquid funds, I'm free with those.
Okay.
I'm free with those.
Because you put the money where you need it to be.
Because I put the money where it needs to be.
This is mine, I can spend it.
Exactly. Okay. As long as everything's taken care of, I'm free with my liquid, you know? So I pretty much do what I want with it. Now it's a balance, right? So I definitely have those times where I'm like, I don't need to go out today. You know, I don't need to, because sometimes I go out and I get a little, you know, fun. I get a little fun, extra fun, you know. You get a drink, you get a drink.
French 72
right.
for the whole table.
And I'm used to being in circles where nobody's worrying about who's buying what. You know what I mean? People just throw down their cards every now and then. This one might cover dinner. I'm used to being in those circles. So I don't, when it comes to my liquid, I'm free with that, you know? If I want to get my nails done, I'm going to get my nails done. If I want to go out to eat, I'm going to go out to eat. If I want to, whatever, I'm going to do. I do that down to, I don't even worry about that, you know? Like, I
love that.
I don't. As long as my car don't decline, I'm good.
As long as it don't decline.
As that car don't decline, I'm good. Which is why I check it every day.
I know you're talking about me.
Run it again. Flip it over and
That's not right.
Wipe it off.
Run this off real quick. I'm just gonna wipe the dust off.
Don't even
use it today. Hold on.
Your machine is broken.
Right.
Not me.
Right. What's your tip, girl? Because I know you got some.
Y'all asking the wrong one. Okay.
At least I have no tips. I just do what I want to do.
Do y'all want
Alina
those
has
tips?
the princess limit.
I do. What's the?
Y'all should not be listening to me. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I'm planning my next vacation as we speak.
You're planning the next vacation.
I
Would
love
you say
that.
I don't?
YOLO.
I love
that too. Like,
I love it. Yeah.
I do. I love that for you because you live such a princess life.
Yes.
No worries.
I love
You
that.
got the princess limit.
That's my tip. I don't worry about anything. I put it in God's hands.
That's right.
You say the
That
faith
is
of a mustard
right.
seed. That's all you
right.
need.
That's all you need.
He got me.
That's it.
Got me.
That is right.
Okay, well, ladies, that is a wrap on another episode of The Boss's Diary. We want to say thank you to you guys for tuning in and staying with us and watching us. Again, if you guys have any podcasts or if you have a question or a diary submission that you want to send over and would like to be featured on the show, somebody tell them where to send it to.
Right. So if you have any budgeting tips, advice to help us manage our savings during the economic downturn, Alina don't need those tips, so don't give them to her.
She said
email those to the Boss's Diary Podcast at gmail.com. Follow the Boss's Diary Podcast, like and subscribe, share with your friends on Instagram, Facebook, and of course the good old YouTube.
That's right.
And my name is Tasha, AZ Real Estate Chick.
And I am Latasha, the Confident Realtor and the Confident Black Girl.
I'm Alina the Realtor on Instagram. Follow me.
And I'm Sha, AZ Homegirl Sha.
Yes. And this is the Boss's Diary. Netflix,
Cut the check.